Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to be going through the picks and predictions for UFC Vegas 103, aka Manel Kape versus Asu Almabaev. So, I've been hearing this card get a lot of slack online, people saying it's the worst card in recent UFC history, saying it's shit, saying it's not worth watching, all that junk. And you know what I have to say about that? They're fucking wrong, man. There's some bangers on this card. And we're going to be going through every single fight on this card. And we're going to be breaking them down. And we're going to be going through them. And we're going to be making picks. So, yeah, without further ado, on to the first one. All right, fight number one. This isn't the first fight of the night, but on Topology, this was listed as number one. So we're going to be starting with this one. Charles Johnson versus Ramazan Temirov. This one is a certified banger. So I'm going to be rooting for Charles Johnson here, but I'm picking Ramazan Temirov. I think this guy's too powerful for Johnson, and I think he's just going to knock him the fuck out, to be honest. Um, you know, Charles Johnson does have pretty sick Muay Thai, so I could see him keeping this fight close, maybe putting it at a split decision. And if the fight goes on long, I could see him winning for sure. But I don't know. I think Ramazan is gonna take this via TKO. All right, on to the next one. Montana De La Rosa versus Luana Carolina. So we're going with Luana here. I think she's gonna win by decision. I think she's a pretty decent fighter, to be honest. She did lose to Molly McCann, but she's looked pretty good since then. And I don't know. I think she's a pretty good fighter. So I think she's going to make Montana look kind of shit. All Montana's got is takedowns, and Luana Carolina has shown improved takedown defense in her recent fights. So yeah, we're going with Luana Carolina here. All right, this one is another fucking banger. All right, we got Danny Silva here for sure. This fight is Lucas Almeida versus Danny Silva. As I just said, we're picking Danny Silva. This guy's one of my favorite prospects. He's a nasty striker. He's got decent takedowns as well, but this fight is going to be mostly on the feet. And he's just a better boxer here. So, yeah, we're going with Danny Silva 100%. Put your money on this guy. He's going to give you some money for sure. All right, fight number 4, Andrea Lee versus JJ Aldrich. Okay, that's it. I'm not breaking this shit down, bro. Neither of these women should be in the UFC. All right, fight number 5, Douglas Silva de Andrade versus John Castaneda. This is a pretty fun fight, Douglas Silva de Andrade is one of those like certified unks who just kind of has been around in the UFC for a hot minute. Um, versus John Castaneda, who's not bad. I think he's like 3-2 in the UFC, maybe 4-2, 4-3. He's like around that 50% wins and losses type of record, and he's not a bad fighter. And I just think he's gonna be too much for Douglas Silva de Andrade at Andrade's age. Yeah, I think Andrade is a little too old for him. All right, this one is another one that I am super super excited for. Ricardo Ramos versus Chepe Mariscal. We're going with Chepe here. This is pretty much a lock. Chepe is like kind of like the 145 Mexican Marab. He's got crazy pressure, crazy wrestling, all that shit. And he's just gonna fucking take Ricardo Ramos down. And there's no way this guy's fluking a submission against Chepe. So Chepe's just gonna make him tired, take him down, and then just ground and pound him in the third. That's pretty much how I see this fight going. This guy's pretty safe to put in your parlays, I think. So yeah, that's this fight. All right, fight number 7. We got Danny Barlow versus Sam Patterson. So this is one of those classic striker versus grappler matchups. Danny Barlow's a pretty one-dimensional striker, and the same thing goes for Sam Patterson, except in the grappling realm. This guy's kind of got no chin, and Barlow doesn't really have the most skilled takedown defense as far as we know. So this fight's either going to go one of two ways. Either Danny Barlow's going to knock Sam Patterson the fuck out really early, or Sam Patterson's going to submit Danny Barlow. And I just think Danny Barlow knocking him out is more likely, seeing as the fight always does start on the feet. And he's athletic, and he should be able to keep the fight standing for long enough to be able to find Sam Patterson's chin. So for fight number 8, we got William Gomis versus Haider Emil. So this fight's either going to go one of two ways. Again, So William Gomi is a super boring striker. Um, he's kind of like featherweight's Israel Adesanya, but even more boring and zero finishing potential. His only finish in the UFC is off of a nut shot. Literally, go back and watch it. It's off of a fucking nut shot. And then Hyder Emil kind of just stands and bangs. He's like Justin Gaethje off Timu. So this fight's either going to be a boring William Gomi decision where he just kind of point fights and wins a 29-28, or Hyder Emil is just going to fucking um, get him into a knockdown, drag out war. And if that happens, it's anybody's fight. But I see the first outcome being more likely, to be honest. And in that vein, I just think William Gomi is too technical and too skilled for Hyder to be able to compete with him. So yeah, for my pick for this fight, we're going with William Gomi. All right, so for fight number 9, we got Austin Lane versus Mario Pinto. Mario Pinto is one of my favorite prospects from this most recent season of the Contender Series. This guy's nasty. He's super technical, and as of late, he does have some KO power. So I think this fight's pretty much just a setup for him to get a win in the UFC. Austin Lane is a mid striker. He has okay takedowns, but I think they're only okay if you're fucking Rebellis to Spain and have zero takedown defense. So yeah, I think Mario Pinto is just gonna knock him out early and pretty devastatingly. So yeah, we got Mario Pinto here. All right, fight number 10. This one is a certified banger. Super excited for this fight. This fight is probably the fight that I'm most excited for, including the main event. I would love for this to be 5 rounds, to be honest. This fight is Nasrat Haqparast versus Esteban Ribovics. So if you saw my best prospects outside of the rankings video, Esteban was ranked super high up, and I think that's for good reason. This guy is nasty with it. He's got sick hands, underrated takedown defense, underrated grappling, and he ain't taking fucking Jared Gordon to a robbery decision. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't fucking robbing Jared Gordon. Like, this guy's fucking beating Jared Gordon cleanly, you know? Which that's a reference to the fact that Nasrat robbed Jared Gordon, by the way, if you aren't fucking watching every single random card like I am. But I digress. Esteban's got better hands. He's got more of a dog in him. He's got fucking more power, more grit, more willpower. He's got everything better than Nasrat. And I'll fucking stake my reputation on this shit. No, I won't, but I'm fucking pretty confident that Esteban Ribovic will take this fight. So yeah, he's my pick for this one. All right, fight number 11, Cody Brundage versus Julian Marquez. I got Cody Brundage here. Both guys suck. Both guys are pretty shit. But Marquez sucks worse. He's got even less of a chin. He's even older. He's even slower. He is pretty dangerous. He does got a lot of power, but like, who cares, man? Cody Brundage is gonna beat this guy. I'm pretty confident in that, but you know, I ain't betting on this fight. I don't think you should either, to be honest. But yeah, we're going with Cody here. And then your main event of the evening is Manel Kape versus Asu Almabaev. I got Manel here. I think it's closer than the odds say. This is another one of those striker versus grappler matchups. We got Manel Kape, who's got nasty hands on the feet, versus Asu Almabaev, who doesn't have too much to offer on the feet, but is nasty on the ground. And I think Manel Kape's going to be able to stay standing, you know. Almabaev wasn't great in taking down Mateus Nicolau, and I think Kape beats Mateus at this point in both of their careers. I know he did lose earlier, but that was kind of a robbery, and I don't think it would be close now. Anyway, that doesn't really relate to this fight. In this fight, I just think Manel's going to be too much on the feet, and I do think he's going to be able to keep it standing. And I think in that like 4th and 5th rounds, he's just going to enter that flow state and just knock Almabaev out. So yeah, that's my breakdown of this fight, which leads us to the end of the card, of course. Overall, I think the best value for your money would be on Esteban Ribovic, Mario Pinto, or Danny Silva. Those would be my 3 best bets for the week. I'm probably not going to put too much money on this card. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.